to the graphic nature of this program, listener discretion is advised.
I'm here with you. I will live with you in this hellhole, but I must express myself. If you don't let me gut out this house and make it my own, I will go insane and I will take you with me!
It's just a coincidence that you were talking about the Jack and Triumph show and I'm here. Thank you so much for having me on your podcast.
Hey man, this is Kevin Smith, guy who makes all those unlistenable podcasts over at smodcast.com, and you're listening to the Two Strangers, One Podcast. This is podcasting.
You're listening to Two Strangers. Squillo.
Well, hello and welcome to Two Strangers, One Podcast. I'm Chris.
I'm Paul.
And what do? We apologize every week for not recording as we were planning to last week, but c'est la vie, so was the way of the world. Paul didn't answer my text. What were you doing?
Your test?
You didn't answer my testes. I sent you my testes, and you didn't do anything about it.
Well, I was sleeping, but yeah.
You were sleeping. Well, okay, so, I guess we might as well just not bury the lead on what's going on in my life. Amongst other things, some of them I don't want to get into, but I guess we might as well just fucking say the cat's right out of the bag. I was seeing somebody, and of course, in the true nature of my life, it wasn't going well. And I do have to say, I mean, just to be fair, in all honesty, I was the asshole in this situation, as usual. And
I was going to say, wow.
Chris, when are you not the asshole in the situation? But yeah, I don't know. It wasn't working for me. And, she had given me the whole thank you for leading me on type of bullshit. But it was sort of like, I was trying to give it a shot, and it wasn't that I was trying to lead you on and nothing serious happened. There was no sex or anything like if you were if we had sex and then I said, okay, see ya, then that would have been
That's true.
Leading you on or something like that. We went on 4 dates, and well, one of them wasn't even a date. One of the dates was because last week you didn't fucking.
Wait? Why is it all my fault?
Because you didn't answer my text. We were supposed to record, and then the funny thing is, she had actually said at the time, she was like, "I kind of hope Paul doesn't answer your text, so then we can hang out." So I ended up going to her house and stuff like that. And, and once again, I'm not going to speak bad about her.
See, it was fate. It was fate, Chris.
It was fate. But it was, I don't know. I just wasn't feeling it. And, back to the fucking drawing board. Drawing board. It was just one of those deals. Okay, here's the one deal that really pissed me off is, and I'm not going to answer that because why is my phone shouldn't even be, going off right now. Okay. So, I just, and see, this is exactly what I'm talking about. See, for those listening to the podcast, this is exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. Why the fuck is it that I talk? Now, that was my daughter's mother, and not to blow up the spot, but, she had texted me about something, and I'm like, I'm about to record, can't talk. So then she texts back, okay. And it's like, I just fucking said, we can't talk. And I'm having this problem. I have this problem with my mother. I have this problem with my daughter. I have this problem with the girl that I was seeing. And now apparently I have this problem with my daughter's mother. It's sort of like, I guess maybe she doesn't know, whatever. I don't know if she stalks my Facebook page, my daughter's mother. I'm pretty sure she does because she's commented on things that I've posted and shit like that. But it's sort of like, we're recording and I'm using my phone right now. Don't send me a text, and I didn't flat out say don't send me a text. I'm like, I can't talk right now. Okay. And maybe I'm overreacting on that one. But it's sort of like, but it's still, can't talk right now. Then just don't send another text. You know what I'm saying? That's just the way of the world.
It's a pet peeve of yours.
And, and sort of like with the girl I was seeing, it was sort of, after things gotten a little sour. And once again, I totally, take full blame and ownership of it was me being an asshole. But it's sort of like, then I said, okay, I don't want to talk anymore. Stop texting me. And then she kept sending me texts. And I'm like, okay, take a fucking hint. I don't want to talk anymore. And she kept sending me texts. And then I basically, my last, serious text was stop fucking texting me. And it was and it wasn't, she's not a bad person, but why do I have to get mean? Why do I have to get nasty? Why do I have to fucking, I repeated myself, I don't want to text. I don't want to text. I don't want to text. And, and that ain't the first time it happened. And once again, this relationship was doomed from the fucking beginning. In the very beginning, she had said something that I felt was inappropriate or just off the cuff, and it just hit me the wrong way. And I said, look, I don't want to talk right now. Give me some time to chill out. Oh, okay, well, she's kind of, what the fuck don't you understand that I said, I don't want to fucking talk? And maybe this is why I'm single. It's bad enough I'm fat and I'm not exactly attractive and I have this stupid fucking beard and
by the way, the folks that are watching, do you see what's going on?
Well, I'm growing the full beard because, and I want to see, and I don't think it's going to happen because right now I don't have any money, but I want to go down to Jersey next week because they're doing a Jay and Silent Bob cosplay thing at Kevin Smith's comic book store, and they want it to be the Guinness Book of World Records. Most people cosplaying as Jay and Silent Bob. So I'm already a fat guy. Let me see if I can grow my beard, and I think in another week I'll have a nice enough growth to kind of. I mean, I kind of have to trim this part so it could match my actual chin so it matches the rest of the beard.
So wait. You have no money, but you're gonna go to New Jersey.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I would like to go to New Jersey. And I'm, and I guess for those listening to the podcast, we'll talk about this real quick. I lost my job. Let's just fucking get it out of the air, and I didn't mention it the last podcast. I actually got fired the last day of our last podcast. I don't want to get into it. I'm pretty sure there's family members and friends that are probably listening to this podcast. This is the first time they're hearing about it. I'm sorry. I just didn't want to talk about it. We're not going to talk about it, but I got fired. So I don't have money, but I got my last paycheck and I had a little bit of a 401k, but there's like a hold on it. So I have to wait for that to come in and I'm waiting for unemployment to kick in. So if my unemployment kicks in, I may shoot down to New York City. Cause it's already going down to New York City and then Kevin Smith's comic book store is like an hour away. So, go to New York City, visit my mom, do all the fucking fun New York City things to do. Maybe
make sure she gets me like a bed ready. So New York Comic Con,
and then we got New York Comic Con, and we will be discussing pretty much. I don't have much in the first half of the news of notes for the show because all my notes are pretty much San Diego Comic Con and the other nerdy news. But I just wanted to get I just wanted to not bury the lead and just talk about I was in a relationship, and of course, in the course of the time of in between 3 episodes, 3 weeks, it went from starting to being okay.
It went from Sweet Caroline to holy shit, what the hell just happened?
99 pounds, but a bitch ain't one. So that came and went. No pun intended. And once again, we didn't consummate the relationship, so I didn't take advantage of anybody. I gave it a shot and it just wasn't feeling, and I'm like, if we're going through these problems now, or I'm turning into a little sensitive bitch about what she's saying and she's not, and I guess here's my issue is that she didn't apologize correctly. Cause if you say something stupid, or even if it's not stupid, but you say something and I take it the wrong way and I say, look, I didn't like that. I think the first words out of your mouth is, I'm sorry, or whatever the case may be. Not, oh, I do that too. That's not the fucking answer I'm looking for.
Dude, I'm...
You know what I'm saying? I know this is painting me to be the biggest scumbag on the planet, and at least it's for the record and it's documented or whatever. I just think that if you I don't know, maybe it's just me. If I think if I fucked up and I said something that pissed somebody off, and they said, "Hey, I didn't like that," the first words out of my mouth would be, "Oh, I'm sorry." And meanwhile, she apologizes about everything fucking else. She apologizes about shit that's not important. Oh, I'm sorry, I fell asleep last night when we were texting, because we were text back and forth as she fell asleep. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck. You fell asleep. That shit happens. I don't care. We're in the middle of talking. Sleep is precious. If you go to sleep, I'm not going to be mad that you're not texting me anymore. You fell asleep. You fell asleep around the time you usually fall asleep. You don't have to apologize for that. But if you say something outlandish and I fucking kind of let you know that I'm pissed off that you said it, then apologize.
Right.
So once again, it kind of fits in the mold of, my daughter. Right now, my daughter is in summer camp, Girl Scout camp. And, I tell her, okay, do this. Why do I have to keep repeating myself to finally get her to do something, getting ready. She'll stay over, she stays with me on the weekends and then okay, it's time to get ready, put on your shoes, put on your shoes. Put on your shoes. Put on your fucking shoes! Why do I have to scream to finally get a response? To her to do stuff like that. So
when are you just gonna fuck a girl and just do that for a while?
No, I look.
It's called Tinder.
Well, no, but I've been on Tinder and nobody's fucking answering. No one's swiping right on me. I guess I was on Tinder. I was on Bumble. I was on the OkCupid. And see, that's what happened was, I think recently I was getting all these dates because I was on the OkCupid's A-list, where you pay like $20 for the month.
Yeah.
And that was before I lost my job. And that's the whole thing is, I didn't realize that was a reoccurring service. So they tried to charge my card again. You know, and I mean, I guess, you know, maybe I didn't read the fine print, but as soon as I saw that charge, and like, I know I don't have my income isn't that great right now, I fucking called the bank. I'm like, stop the charge right now. And thinking it was still like pending when I saw it. And I'm like, I don't want, and then I contacted the website. I'm like, you know, I want to downgrade. I don't want to be part of the A-list program, whatever the fuck it's called. And so, I mean, thankfully, because that would have been $20 for what? And at the time when that happened, things were still going good between me and her. And I'm like, why the fuck, you know, and I haven't, part of it, like what I did is I uninstalled OkCupid off my phone. Just to sort of like, I was showing like my commitment, like, okay, look, I'm not going to even try to speak to anybody else. So I took OkCupid off my phone, and I'm like, these fucking guys are going to charge me and I even told her, I said, look, dude, because OkCupid lets people know when, like, if someone's been online or whatever. And I told her, I said, look, I was on OkCupid earlier because they had charged my account and I had to go on the account so I can downgrade to, you know, regular account.
Dude, you don't need to listen.
But it's, you know,
dude, you don't listen to me.
It's only I have these weird sort of like rules in my head where, like, if you're talking to someone and
get that weird shit out of your head.
But I'm saying, I mean, it's a little old fashioned. I mean, if you're talking to someone and things appear to be going okay, you know, you don't go back on a site anymore. You know?
Well, no, look, man. What I'm saying to you is if she's going back on the OkCupid and looking around, then obviously,
she would have to. Yeah, she would have to go on.
So then, don't say anything.
But I can't hold her to the same standard I am. Like if I you know, and I can tell her, look, you know, I'm just saying at the time, I can say, look, I'm serious about this, and you can even check out my account. I haven't even been online since, you know, our first date or something like that. You know, so at least it's, you know.
Look. It's called Plenty of Fish. It's free.
Plenty of crabs.
Number one. Number two, you need to get laid.
Yeah.
Well, and listen to me. It's free to get laid. You don't gotta pay for that shit. You can get it free. You know what I mean? Some girls gonna want to do something.
But in this situation, and not to speak my fucking business, I mean, I'm pretty sure if I pushed the issue, we could have.
I understand that, but what I'm saying,
but I didn't. I said if we did fool around, then we definitely would have been. I definitely would have been taking advantage of the situation.
All I'm saying to you, man, is you just need to. You need to just stop, like, trying to be so serious about this relationship. Shit happens. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, at least this girl didn't, like, fucking introduce you to her kids, like, early.
Yeah, and that didn't happen, though. And
I didn't introduce her to my kid. I gotta tell you, man, like, you can go up on Tinder. I think you'll be fine. I think you'll find some girl that's, you know.
I was on Tinder, bro. Nobody's swiping right on me.
Go back on there.
Yeah, at least now I can, yeah.
Yeah. What, how much... What is it going to cost you? Ain't going to cost you nothing.
Yeah.
$0 is what it costs you. By the way, all it's going to cost you is a blowjob. You'll be fine. Okay? Jesus Christ, man. Like, Jesus, come on.
I have to be careful for social diseases.
Jen's single now, from what you're telling me. So
no, I didn't. Well, no, and once again, I don't. We're definitely that. We're definitely both like friend zone material. I don't. Once you're in that zone, there's no, and I, you know,
oh my God.
I don't see her like that, and it wouldn't, you know, I thought she'd be watching.
Let me tell you a little story.
There's 2 people watching, but
let me tell you a little story, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I had a friend,
mm-hmm.
And I'm not gonna say who she is, but you know, when we were, you know, this was years ago. You know, people would always sit there and be like, "Why aren't you guys just dating? Why aren't you guys dating?" And she would never, like, because she had this like little thing like, "Oh no, I'm not gonna, you know, I'm not gonna cross the line." And I'm like, what does it matter if you cross the line? Mm-hmm. Hey, everybody's sitting there already thinking that we are. Number 2, like, how bad is that gonna be? It ain't gonna be bad at all.
Yeah.
But, you know, girls are stupid. And they do this stupid shit. What I'm saying to you, man, is I'm joking about Jen. You said girls are stupid, and you said that the number went down. Yeah, I know. Yes, I won. But I mean, I'm joking about Jen, but in all seriousness, dude, like, seriously. I mean, you took a good step. I mean, you figured out that you didn't want what this girl had. So that's going to make you a little bit stronger, but you also need to understand that if the pussy presents itself, it presents itself, and you must partake in it.
But that's the whole thing. I didn't want to take advantage.
Well,
because let's say we did fool around, and then I said, "All right, peace out,"
Wait. But see, here's the thing.
Then feelings. Think about it. She acted this fucking crazy.
But you're not understanding.
She sent me 1,000 fucking texts after I said stop texting me, and we didn't even fuck yet. Imagine if we did fuck.
Listen to me though.
It would be.
Listen to me. You're not listening.
Fatal Attraction.
Ziggy, see what we were talking about? Now you're talking about that shit where I'm like...
She'd be boiling Ziggy in a fucking pot.
Oh Dude, remember how you were just talking about how like you were sitting there like, Raven, like, whatever? Mm-hmm. Shut the fuck up. Right. Let me talk. Mm-hmm. Listen, man, like there's a difference between you get a connection with a girl and you want to try to get in a relationship with her, and there's the other part of where, oh, look, this girl looks really hot, I want to fuck her. Mm-hmm. Okay? If something comes from it after you fucked a girl, okay, fine. But guess what? You're 40 years old. You're single. You got nothing to lose, okay? Get your dick wet.
But...
What? What are you going to say to me?
The ones who actually answer me back aren't exactly fucking... I'm not exactly getting cream of the crop. I'm not.
Are you Mel
Gibson? Well, exactly. That's the whole thing. No, I understand.
Wait a minute. Are you Mel Gibson?
No,
Are you Tom Cruise?
I know. I'm a fat, unemployed, ugly guy. Yes, I totally understand that.
Are you Captain America? Whatever his fucking real name
Chris
is?
Evans?
Yeah, no, you're not. So listen to me, man. You need this is the one, the podcast reality check here, okay? Mm-hmm. Podcast reality check. You need to take your standards that are up here, and people that are watching on the stream will see what I'm doing. Up here to like here. Mm-hmm. Okay? You need to bring them down. Bring them down. Because here's the thing. You've had them up here all your life, right? Mm-hmm. Where's that shit gotten you?
Gotcha.
You see what I'm saying, man? Mm-hmm. Like, it's the same thing where I sit there and I tell you, I'm like, don't fucking say a word about you. Yes, you can tell a girl that you have a kid, but do not ever fucking sit there and bring them into the situation until at least 3 months into the relationship. Mm-hmm. That's the kind of thing, man. Lower your standards. Just get laid. You're 40 years old, dude. Yeah. Listen to me. You're 40 fucking years old. Okay, you have a possibility. Hell, you could go down to New York Comic-Con in 2 or 3 months here. Mm-hmm. And some girl could be like, I want to suck your dick. What are you going to sit there and go, no? Well, I'm going to look at you and be like, get the fuck over. Go with her. I will go back to your mom's house and go and whatever. No, that sounded wrong, but I'm just saying, like, I'll go back to your mom's house and chill. You go and get your dick sucked. I'll tell your mom what's going on. She'll be like, good job, Chris. There you go. So, see what I'm saying, man? Like, this
Don't tell my mom I'm getting my dick sucked. Let's say he's having some coffee with the girl. He's having some hot coffee.
I'll tell her and be like, oh, Chris is getting smashed, and then she'll be like, oh, he's getting drunk. What the fuck? I'm like, yeah, he's getting drunk, right? He's getting drunk off pussy.
He's having dinner with a lovely lady.
I'm just saying, man. Like you don't have nothing to lose here, man. Like what's gonna happen? You know what I mean? Yeah. You got a kid. I mean, what happens? The worst thing is you get an STD. Oh no, you're 40 years old, man.
Yeah,
do what you got to do, man. Come on.
That's all I need is to fucking have an STD.
You're not getting any younger.
Like, hi, I'm fat, unemployed, and I have an STD. Hi, I'm Mr. Fucking Wonderful. But that's, I don't know. I'm at a weird point now where, like, okay, yes, sex is important, but it's not like it's not the end all be all. I'm not saying, not saying that sex is important. I'm saying to you, like, you need to get yourself into, like, a master... a hound dog? I just gotta...
No. I'm talking about, like, you gotta get yourself into a master phase where, like, you just sit there and are like, okay, yeah, I talk to you, but I just want to have sex with you. You look like a relationship possibility. I'm not going to have sex with you necessarily, but we're going to have a conversation and see where the things go. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And then you're strong enough to be like what you just did and went, guess what? We're done. I don't want to talk to you anymore, okay? Because guess what? Is your ego hurt right now? No. Mm-hmm. Are you sitting here, Paulie, she broke up with me? No, you're not like that, okay? Mm-hmm. Seriously. Like, you're good. Okay, man. That's what I just listen to me for once. Just fucking listen to me.
Gotcha.
Get laid, get your dick wet. Mm-hmm. Okay? Do what you gotta do. Okay? Kelsey was even saying that to you. And she's the fucking sweetest girl in the fucking world. And I'm sitting there like going, well, if Kelsey says it.
Yeah. I mean, I just in this particular situation it would have been wrong because I had spoken to her as if I wanted a relationship.
Oh, by the way,
at least if it's a new girl, like I totally understand because that's you approach a new girl with that point of view.
By the way, keep in mind, young girls do like older guys. Case in point.
Well, yeah,
So,
yeah.
And I'm not saying don't do 18, 19-year-olds. You're too old for that.
Yeah.
I mean,
I can probably get a nice, like, 30-year-old.
Let me backtrack on that. Let me backtrack it just a little bit. If you're getting laid, that's one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? If you're trying to get in a relationship with a girl, make sure she's at least, like, late 20s.
Well, think about it. My baby mom was like 9 years younger than me. My ex-wife was like 4 years younger than me. I've always been with younger women, and I think that's the fucking problem. And not that I want some fucking MILF or cougar or anything like that. I just want someone that's like mature enough to fucking just, be there by my side and just fucking I got your back.
Oh,
and
Speaking of, I found out the other day that this is not my baby's mother. This is a different ex.
Mm-hmm.
It was the one that I dated before Kelsia.
Mm-hmm.
Like she put up another picture the other day. Now, first of all, I wasn't looking for her profile, but I like her friend is still friends with me on Facebook. Mm-hmm. So I was just curious out of the blue, and all of a sudden I see this picture that she put up, and I'm like, that didn't make you look any better. That didn't make you look any better. Like, dude, she's not even with the guy that she like cheated on me with. Mm-hmm. Like, so clearly that guy was really special.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mr. Fucking Wonderful.
Mr. Fucking Wonderful that you wanted to break up with me for. So, I feel a little vindication there.
But what did she do? Like, what picture did she post up? She cut her hair? She dyed her hair?
It looked like she had some kind of like. Actually, looks like she had plastic surgery because she was that ugly. But I didn't say that. I don't know. I think maybe she got her hair done or something. But I'm sitting there going, "You're still hideous." Yeah. By the way, and then I kind of got depressed and went, why the fuck did I date that? Like, what the hell is wrong with me? See, that's an example of a girl that will sit there and introduce you to her kid.
Uh-huh.
And you're looking at her like, okay, why am I meeting your kid now? Because here's the thing. I know that we're just dating right now, but if, by the way, this is so great right here. How am I supposed to, like, not get pissed when you break up with me and now I'm starting to have a connection with a kid? You know what I mean? Like, that's why I say to people, like, it's kind of fucked up. Yeah, yes, me and Kelsia met on similar circumstances. She introduced her kid to me sooner than she probably should have. Mm-hmm. But I still made her wait 3 months to meet mine. Mm-hmm. For me...
Well, I mean, it's also, like, if you meet the kid, it's not like you're, like... If you meet the kid and it's still kind of early, you don't have to, like, jump and make this... You don't have to... If you feel it's early, you don't have to try to, like, jump and make a connection with the kid. You're just like... No. I'm just, just be a decent... Hi, I'm a halfway decent human being adult that's around you. You know what I'm saying? It's not like we're like, hey, let's go to the fucking circus or anything like
Kelsia's situation was a lot different. That was, to the point of where nobody could watch. But
I'm saying is, like, if I met a girl and she automatically kind of put her kid towards me quick, I mean, I would be like, okay, and then just kind of like, you can be nice to the kid. You don't have to be a scumbag, but you don't have to, not like, hey kid, let's go to the fucking circus and buy balloons and eat candy.
I got somebody that I work with that is, like, literally every time that he dates a girl that has a kid, they try to shove the kid in his face, mm-hmm. and he's not a kid person.
Oh.
And, like, I said to him, I literally said to him, I was like, let me ask you a question. Let's say you made a connection with a girl. 6 months down the line, you're still with her. You're like, okay, this is actually going well. If she says, you know what, I feel like I can introduce my son to you, would you feel a lot different about that situation? He's like, yeah. I mean, I'm not big on, kids, but that doesn't necessarily mean that, if I was with a girl that had a kid and 3 to 6 months down the line, we're still in a relationship, we vibe really well, we do, we have a connection that if she wants me to meet her kid, then yeah,
Well, I mean, it's like if you met someone and you fucked on the first date. You kind of like, yes, this could generally, there's a possibility this can turn out to be a normal relationship, but generally if you fuck someone on the first date, you're like, there's something fucking wrong here.
Yeah, I mean,
there's not that you, and that shouldn't be the case because, chemistry is chemistry and you can't really, but I'm just saying is if you ended up fucking someone on the first date, my first thing is like, this is some damaged goods I'm working with here, and it's not, but then again, I'm pretty sure there's people who have fucked on the first date and fucking have wonderful relationships and they got kids and they're married and everything's wonderful.
Dude, I'm gonna tell you something. Like, here's the thing that you need to understand too. Like, you're gonna meet you're going to meet some girls that are, that you sit there and you find, like, absolutely attractive. Like, why the fuck is this girl talking to me kind of attractive? Mm-hmm. And what ends up happening is you get to know this girl, or she does something stupid that you're just like, what, why would you do that? And you're like, you kick her to the curb. That's what happened with that one girl that said, oh, sometimes a kiss is just a kiss. Like, beautiful girl. Mm-hmm. Wonderful parent. But don't sit there and say something that's stupid. Because either we are getting in a relationship or you're not. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's stupid shit. And I'm not saying that
go play that shit with some motherfucking dude that is cool with that, because I'm not fucking cool with that.
No. Like, if we're gonna, like, if you're progressing into a direction, then we should progress into that direction. If we're not progressing into that direction, then don't let me think that way. Hopefully this purring won't get on the mic, but whatever.
I'm pretty sure the mic is picking it up.
People would be like, why is there purring?
First, 2 episodes ago, Paul is stroking his laptop.
And now he's playing with his pussy.
His black pussy.
By the way, wait a minute. Let's move away from the relationships. Did I see an Oscar letter?
There is an Oscar letter, but it's a real quick one, and actually, it's not really in regards to the podcast. It's in regards to a Facebook post I made, because I was posting about the whole, like, Donald Trump was saying that transgender soldiers cost the military more money, and that he's going to do what he can to keep transgenders out of the military. Mm-hmm. And he goes, Chris, I love the preachy preach, but you said the guy with the NRA sticker, the rebel flag sticker, and the support our troops sticker on the bumper sticker of the pickup truck have never served their country, that would have a problem with a transgender person in the military. Then he goes, are you talking about your father? Keep it real. And that's like, and actually no, and first and foremost, I love my dad, and know, my dad probably does have a support our troops and a race sticker on his car. But no, I was not talking about my dad. It was just sort of, because one, I don't think my dad doesn't drive a pickup truck. Because even though we're definitely white Puerto Ricans, but my dad doesn't have a pickup truck, my dad would definitely not have a rebel flag on his car. I mean, if he did, my dad doesn't strike me as that type. I've never seen one on my dad's car, right. Rebel flag. But no, I wasn't talking about my dad. So that was sort of, it's good to hear from Oscar. I'm glad he didn't fucking fall into the fucking earth. But that was the only Oscar letter that he sent since our last episode. And I'm pretty sure he's going to dig into me now that I've done that. Chris, you finally have someone that was going to give you ass and you didn't fucking take it.
Real quick about the whole transgender thing, the guy sits there and says on Twitter, well, we're going to ban transgenders, blah, 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 blah. And then all of a sudden, the generals come out and go, no, he's not.
Yeah. And he was
they haven't even sent me a letter describing what he wants to do yet. So until that happens, nobody's going to get cut from the military. But here's the other thing. There was some Republicans, some really conservative Republicans that wanted this. Mm-hmm. And people were saying that that's probably why Trump did that.
Yeah.
But here's the problem. They're like, oh, well, we didn't even go to the White House. Okay, so why did Trump just randomly do this?
Well, I think it's also because, remember, that came out the day after the whole, he's thinking about pardoning himself and the whole Russia investigation. He's deflecting from one issue because, the Healthcare Act bill didn't go through, even though it should have. The reform and the skinny, the skinny reform and all that shit. That didn't go through. Oh, Jen says, hey, thanks for joining us, Jen.
Hey, there's your future girlfriend.
No.
This is going to be a running gag. Don't you fucking wonder.
No.
Don't you fucking...
No.
Don't you fucking worry.
We don't... We're both in that fucking friend zone. One, Jen wouldn't want me in the first place. And two, it's not like that.
Well, at least she has a house you can live in.
She goes, oh, wait. No, the other day, we were just too... she was drinking, and I had some beers in my car that I just bought them from the supermarket.
Two strangers and some beer.
And we just, we were just hanging out, having, two people just commiserating.
I mean, titty sprinkles. I don't know, how
titty sprinkles. That's in what's his face? Morgan Freeman titty sprinkles.
Okay.
Because I guess it's funnier when you're drunk, but just imagine Morgan Freeman in that voice that it does. Chris is my boy. See, that's exactly what I'm telling Jen. Paul's busting my chops because now that I broke up.
Jen, listen to me. I'm looking at you live on Facebook. I'm not looking at you live, but you're looking at me live. Can you please get this motherfucker laid? At least get this motherfucker laid. If not get him laid, find him a girl that actually, will date him.
I'm pretty sure if she knew somebody, she would. But I don't think she doesn't have any friends that have that low standard.
Oh, wow.
But
say.
Okay, but you won't friend me.
What?
Oh! I guess did she send you a friend request and you never answered? I
don't think so.
Paul's an asshole.
No, wait a minute. Wait.
Paul.
I don't think so, but I will look, because I'm pretty sure that nobody's friend requested me. No, I don't see anything.
Yeah, I just get
You're just going to have to do it again, Jen.
Oh, she goes, I did. So, no, I have, my baby mama's, junkie brother, that friend request has been sitting there, on my face.
Oh, I blocked my ex after all the crap that she's been putting me through lately. I blocked her.
And then,
I couldn't deal with it.
Oh, it says she said you declined.
Did I decline it?
It's gone. I'll send it again, Jen. I'm pretty sure Paul was just an asshole.
Well, I don't. Hello, I get freaking random friend requests
all the creepy fucking anime guys that listen to his other podcast.
Yeah,
want to friend him.
Yeah.
So all right. So you were talking about the transgender thing, and
he tries to defer everything. I know that, but
I think it was just a deflection from they failed to help.
But see, here's the problem: he deflects and deflects and deflects. The whole last week was deflection, and then this week, not even 10 days later, he fires his communication director again.
Yeah,
what?
Well, that guy was a real fucking goomba, Washington D.C. has a bunch of backstabbing, but I don't backstab. I stab you in the front. Forget about it.
I stab you in the front.
Fucking Mario Cantone. But I just Mario Cantone said that he wants to play the guy Scaramucci on Saturday Night Live, and it's dude, Melissa McCarthy, struck gold when she was doing Sean Spicer. Stop trying to resurrect your career by trying to play the Scaramucci, whatever, on Saturday Night Live. Then Jen goes, it's a transition.
There you go, Jen. There you go, Jen. I friend requested you. There you go.
Then real quick, I guess
it's in your court now.
And in more sadder news, one of the singers from Linkin Park, Chester Bennington, hung himself.
Did he commit suicide, or was it a murder?
There was some bullshit. There was some bullshit posts about that
fake news.
Yeah, that his wife did it, or she was behind it, and that his wife, someone, I don't know. The funny thing is, to the best of my knowledge, that never. Jen says suicide, but there was even the night that he died, there was fucking already bullshit. There was bullshit stories out there that Chester Bennington's wife posted. Someone hacked her account and said. I mean, I don't have no confirmation of that, but I mean, it's my opinion that someone probably hacked her account, and she said, allegedly, she said, I had told Chester that I was cheating on him with Mike Shinoda, the other guy from Linkin Park, the rapper, and he was already dead, and it's fucking heartless. The internet. I know it's
called fake news.
People talk about savage, when people say rude shit, and it's it's one thing to be savage, if someone's being an asshole. And you call them out on their bullshit, be savage. Or if someone's full of themselves, you know what I'm saying? And you kind of, call them out once again, be savage. But when fucking the guy just died and people are fucking hacking his wife's account to say fucking bogus fucking tweets about, I told him I was cheating on him with Mike Shinoda and he was already dead, he didn't commit suicide. That's just crazy. So,
Jesus, Shy, you're purring really loud.
The suicide hotline, 1-800-273 talk. Once again, the suicide hotline, because that really struck me, because I got my own fucking mental health issues. You know what I'm saying? And
it's called women.
You know what I'm saying? And I've gone through fucking depression. I've gone through days where you don't want to fucking get out of bed. And in no way am I fucking looking for a pity party. I'm oh, my life is so fucking horrible and miserable. But there were times, I'm not gonna fucking lie, where suicide. What is it? Yeah, and Jen says, don't we all? And it's one of those deals, where we don't we don't really talk about it. You know what I'm saying? There's fucking times where I thought, man, you know, let me just take this fucking bottle of pills. Let me just fucking, you know, I've thought about that. Or, you know, let me go and fucking just, you know, pull my car into a fucking intersection and just fucking just die. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I've never had those thoughts.
Well, no, I mean, that's more of a violent death, because my thing is that, like, I mean, don't get me wrong, if I did commit suicide, it would be a peaceful way. It would, you know, I'd take a fucking, I'd overdose on pills or some shit like that. I'd go out like the punk way. Either that, or I'd go out the hero way. Like, I'd go like, just like, find a guy like a gangster, like a real gang, and just smack the shit out of him and like say, "What, bitch?" You know, and let them kill me. But, you know.
Oh my God.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, or, you know, like.
I do see you doing that too, but like, come on, smack me.
You know, there's times where I've felt like fucking ending it all. And it's sort of like, you know, and let's be real here, you know, you think about it and I'm like, you know, my mom, like if I died right now, like my mom, it would fuck up my mom, it would fuck up my daughter, you know, and
what's being said there?
Jen says, and even Jen says, she says she's thought about jerking the wheel, but I don't, you know, as I'm saying, like maybe, I mean, not like, you know, and then it's like, if I did die, like right now, if I died right now, like in my apartment, how many days would fucking pass? Like it would probably, like you probably wouldn't hear from me from like 2 or 3 weeks, and then like I'm not answering your texts, and you're like, okay, I'd probably be dead in my apartment for like a month before somebody fucking got me. You know, I think maybe my mom would probably kind of like start freaking out. Like if I wasn't, she'd probably call my phone a bunch of times. She'll probably call my dad. My dad would probably call the cops. You know, then they come fucking to my apartment. What's that bad smell? You know, I guess my daughter's mother would probably, like, if I died right now, my daughter's mother would probably, after trying to get in contact with me, like, why don't you come pick up your fucking kid? I'm not answering, you know, and I'm like, my car's still parked in front of my apartment or something like that. Then I guess, so it would probably be like my daughter's mother that finds out that I'm fucking dead or whatever. And it's, you know, and it's sad that we fucking, you know, that I think like that, you know, and I've had dark fucking thoughts. And let me tell you, I was on Zoloft, and I think like, way early in the podcast, I remember like my episode, like I announced that I just was going to get on Zoloft. You know, the withdrawal from Zoloft, when you finally come off of it, there is like, it's like medically, it's in the fucking, you know, thoughts of suicide and shit like that. So when you come off of an antidepressant, oddly enough, coming off an antidepressant, one of the major symptoms is thoughts of suicide. And it's weird how it's a medical thing. And think about it, you know, these guys, you know, Chester Bennington, Chris Cornell, you know, all these guys had drug abuse problems, you know what I'm saying? And they were on some sort of like medical you know, they were on some prescription medication, but then they were also probably doing drugs on the side or drinking alcohol on the side. And you're not supposed to be taking those drugs with alcohol. So, you know, and I, you know, like I said, I've thought about it, and I want other people to fucking never, you know, and I'll put a post about it like on Facebook. You know, I don't have enough money to commit any of the cool suicides. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, if I was gonna, you know, I get like a bunch of hookers and a bunch of cocaine and go that way. You know, I do cocaine, but you know, and I joke about it and stuff like that. But I joke because there's a fucking real fucking pain there. And, you know, and the good, let me tell you, doing this podcast really is therapy. Doing this podcast gets me the fuck out of my house, gets me out of my funk, you know, it makes me feel like I'm doing something creative, doing something productive. And a part of my life is documented. So that even if I did fucking die tomorrow, when my daughter gets a little older, she can listen to the podcast, you know, and whatever.
By the way, if you die, I get the podcast.
And when Paul gets the podcast if I die, you know, that there's some sort of record of me that my daughter, I mean, I want her to be a lot older. I'm here talking about jerking off and stuff like that. I don't want my daughter to hear about that when she's like 13, 14, but when she gets a little older, yeah, your dad was a fucking clown or whatever. But then again, I want to be alive when my daughter's 18, 20 years old. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to, you get those thoughts. And what happens is if you fucking, you know what they say, suicide is a temporary solution, a permanent solution to a temporary problem. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, by the time, if you give it a night and you get a good night's sleep or something, you know, and then the next day happens, then you don't feel suicidal anymore. And it's like, oh my God, I almost fucking killed myself last night.
You could take it to the worst expectation and just be like, all right, well, me and my wife are going to jump out the window and then we're going to leave our 2 or 3 kids and expect the state to take care of them. Did you hear about that story? I think it was this happened down in New York City. Like this couple, they left suicide notes, and part of their suicide note, they're like, "Oh yeah, hopefully you guys will take care of our kids."
Which, you know,
like if it's really that bad, if you're really at that point where you're that much in debt and everything like that, and you're going to leave your kids behind, like, maybe at least get the kids out of the situation or do something, you know? Do something with your life.
Well, your kid's going to become wards of the state, because if it's both parents, then technically until some family member steps up in court, you know, your kids are going to basically... Oh, Jen says the video dropped off.
It looks live to me.
It says live on our end. I don't know. So
I think it's time to move on, though.
It's time to move on. Yeah, so we'll be back with more dick and fart jokes, I hope.
This episode of Two Strangers, One Podcast is brought to you by Comics Etc. 1115 East Main and North Goodman at the Hungerford Building, door number 8. Find out more information at comicsetc.biz or like them on Facebook at facebook.com/comicsetc1.
Did you ever see a film at such a young age it left you traumatized with cinematic wounds? Necrophilia. It's a dead issue, man. Don't push it. Cinema Psyops is a weekly podcast documenting an ongoing experiment on the mind of an unwilling test subject.
No one should have to watch this movie.
Oh, no one should have to watch this?
No one should have to watch this movie.
Surprisingly, it's not a topic that a lot of people really want to tackle.
I'm shocked, prudes.
I know, really.
Right?
It's the next sexual frontier that no one wants to explore.
I am, in the most sincerest of senses, disappointed in you.
It takes a powerful goddess like Connie, jam her arm down the monster's throat and kill it. Oh, I'm still tripping out over that. Even as a kid, I was like, I gotta find a girl like that. Every week, I get a new look of disappointment that I never thought I could get out of her.
Unimaginable. At 12 years old, you should not be watching this movie.
Obviously.
At 13, you should not be. 14, you shouldn't be. I'm not entirely sure even 17-year-olds should be watching this movie.
Just because you're offended by something doesn't mean that you have the right to demand that it doesn't exist. Watching this film again, I had all of this like little nerd glee with everything that kept
little history all popping up
absolutely.
at you.
So I totally loved this film.
Hey, I know why you couldn't see that. It's because your brain's warped from watching this shit at 12 years old.
Yeah, this is a rough movie. I told you ahead of time when we were getting ready to do it that it was going to be a rough.
How did you watch this shit at 12?
Because physical wounds heal, cinematic ones don't. Listen to Cinema Psyops.
Click and Hit, enhancing the experience for all recreational smokers. Click and Hit is a one-handed portable vaporizer. This smoking pipe has a compact 4-stage design, complete with a built-in, windproof, butane refillable torch lighter. The large burn chamber holds your stash of legal herb or pipe tobacco. Click the button to ignite and inhale as usual. When you are done, put it back in your pocket for later. Smoke anytime with the touch of a button. No more carrying around grinders and tins. Pipe, rolling papers, and even your lighter at home. The Click and Hit cordless vaporizer is no bigger than a normal cigar, making it the world's smallest and most discreet vaporizer. It's perfect for use in small places or shared rooms. It's efficient, getting 5 to 8 draws from your packed chamber. It's affordable at just $19.95 each. Buy 3 and the shipping is free. Buy 4 and you get the 5th one free. Visit www.click-hit.com. That's clickandhit.com. And now for listeners of Two Strangers, One Podcast, you can use promo code STRANGERS and receive 10% off your purchase at clickandhit.com. That's promo code STRANGERS for 10% off your purchase.
And we're back. All right, Paul. San Diego Comic-Con since our last podcast. San Diego Comic-Con has... Comic-Con. San Diego Comic-Con, the little brother of New York Comic-Con. No, okay, San Diego Comic-Con, we got to give respect where respect's due. They were the big daddies. They started it first. It's not their fault that New York Comic-Con is a bigger, better Comic-Con, but let's talk about it anyway. People, a lot of people went out this year. You know, once again, they always break records whenever they have San Diego Comic-Con. With my limited internet, I tried to watch as many videos as I could online. You know, mostly following, obviously, Kevin Smith had his IMDb boat. You know, so let's talk about it. Let's go with the smaller stuff first. And this I actually saw live, the interview. Todd McFarlane is writing and directing a Spawn movie, which he is going to do with Blumhouse. And Blumhouse is the horror company. I think they do like the Annabelle movies. I think they did the Purge movies. So imagine with that kind of, Jen goes, she wants to go to the RockCon. Which
you don't want to go to RockCon. You don't want to go to RockCon.
Well, go. You got to work your way up. You got to. Hey, we met in RockCon. You wouldn't be on this fucking podcast if it wasn't for RockCon.
That's true.
Let's give respect where respect's due. Even though RockCon does suck, maybe we should go. We should schedule to fucking go and just goof off. But that being said, what was I just about to say? Oh my god, I lost my train of thought. What were we saying? San Diego Comic-Con. The Todd McFarlane doing the Spawn movie.
Yep.
And so Blumhouse is the company that's making it. And so he did recognize that, the movie they did a bunch of years ago was very ambitious. A lot of special effects for the time, CGI. Some of the CGI wasn't that great. And he says that since he knows he's working with Blumhouse, he's not going to write a movie that has a million demons in hell.
Yeah. He's
going to write a movie that fits the budget that Blumhouse wants to work with. So he's going to make a really good, really scary. And he goes, we've seen a lot of superhero movies, and like Ant-Man was a heist movie, and Winter Soldier was a espionage movie, and Spider-Man Homecoming was a comedy. He wants to make a horror superhero movie. And since it's Spawn, and this is the guy who fucking made Spawn, Jen says, should I vendor? I mean, I guess if you wanted to vendor your side projects that you're doing right now, that's a possibility.
Vendor where? At RockCon?
At RockCon.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. I did it. It doesn't work.
It'll be like a three-way vendor, sort of like, Jen.
So you're already talking about sexual things. God damn it.
Well, Jen has a couple side projects, but, and she goes, it's been done already. And, with promoting the podcast. I mean, I would jump right on it if I wasn't fucking dead broke right now. I would say, yeah, let's do it. And not that, let's not, why not? What
else?
Why not? How much was a spot for RockCon?
50 maybe?
50?
I think so.
That's it?
It's not hugely expensive. Well, that was what it was last time. I don't remember what it is now.
Yeah, I mean, they moved buildings recently, right? They moved buildings to the Kodak buildings.
This will be the third year maybe they're at Kodak.
Mm-hmm.
But
because we went when they were still in the Main Street Armory.
They're still disorganized.
Yeah,
I've heard. The people that run Flower City Comic Con actually, most of them worked at Flower City Comic Con and wanted out. So that's why they started their own con.
Ah, gotcha. All right, so we got Todd McFarlane doing a horror superhero movie, which I think since Todd McFarlane is Spawn, I mean he made Spawn, I think he can do it. And once again, he's working within his constraints. But sometimes when you put someone on a budget, they get more creative.
Yeah.
So he wants to make a scary superhero movie, which I'm all down for.
Just better not be shit. That's all.
Yeah, I think I'm
gonna be honest with you. I like the original Spawn that they made. Yeah,
no, it wasn't bad, but even he said, it was a little too ambitious for what we wanted. We wanted to, they overreached when they made Spawn, because I mean the special effects were okay, they were good for the time, but they weren't that great.
Yeah.
The devil didn't even talk. He just opened his mouth. The effects with like Killer Clown, or whatever the fuck his name is, he was kind of cheesy. All right, Jim, we'll have the conversation later on about the RockCon. All right, so I remember seeing that. I saw that interview when they announced it, and that was with Kevin Smith. There was some bags going around San Diego Comic Con, because usually they give out these big promotional bags so people can carry all their
stuff.
They carry their stuff and their the free shit that they get at comics, or the comic books they buy or whatever, the posters. It's these big fucking bags, and they'll say Warner Brothers on them. So one of the fun ones this year was Teen Titans versus Teen Titans Go, and it shows a certain sentiment amongst the fans who are getting a little sick and tired of Teen Titans Go, because there was obviously a backlash when Teen Titans Go came out, because it was like they took a good cartoon and they made it kiddie, even though they kept all the same voices and stuff like that. A lot of people were not happy with from going from serious to fucking kid friendly, and then I guess right now what's going on is that Cartoon Network has decided to just fucking play Teen Titans Go on a fucking loop instead of trying to develop new shows, and they just. And the funny thing is, I don't even have cable, but when I go to my mom's house and I have my daughter with me, she likes Teen Titans Go, I can literally she literally says, I want to watch Teen Titans Go, and I'll just put it on Cartoon Network because it's usually on all fucking weekend. And then the funny thing is, like, will Teen Titans Go, it'll be on Saturday, it'll be on Sunday, but, I guess, there's a bit of a backlash now because of people saying it's on too much, but it's funny that on an official Warner Brothers San Diego Comic-Con bag, you had old school Teen Titans beating up Teen Titans Go. So I thought that was kind of cute, and it's sort of like them going to the fans, we know. We understand. We understand. Okay. Some of the lesser trailers that I wasn't too impressed with, the Marvel's Inhumans, and their big deal is that the first 2 episodes, or it's gonna be like it's a movie, which technically is gonna be 2 episodes in IMAX, and then I guess are the rest of the episodes going to ABC? Is it that's? But it doesn't. The Inhumans doesn't look. It doesn't look impressive. It's sort of
Chris isn't impressed.
I'm not impressed, and it's sort of like it reminds me of like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was supposed to be Marvel show that's sort of like grounded in reality and whatever. And Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is sort of like sometimes they have good episodes, but most of them are garbage. And then speaking of Marvels, on the flip side, going from shitty shows to good shows. Marvel's Defenders. And once again, because I've only seen Daredevil season 1. I haven't watched any Iron Fist, I haven't watched any, I watched like the first 2 episodes of Luke Cage. But I haven't watched any Iron Fist, I haven't watched any Jessica Jones, I haven't watched any Daredevil season 2. But they have the Defenders. The trailer looks okay, it's sort of, once again, the street level, I guess the whole deal about the Defenders is that, it's Manhattan is under attack, or Manhattan's gonna crumble, so they have to, so they're going to be the street. So as we bleed into Infinity War next year, the Defenders are still going to be street level, which I don't think we're going to see them in Infinity War, because if we were, I think we would have heard about it by now. But
they're still toying with the idea, but they haven't really said anything.
Yeah, but they're going to keep
anything new?
No, she hasn't said anything yet. Let me see.
Thor, the new Thor trailer came out, which is really good.
Thor Ragnarok.
Yep.
Trailer came out, and now we got a talking Hulk.
Yes.
Which there's a couple of theories going on. Some people say it's because of the planet's radiation. I think because in the movies where he goes in the very first Avengers, he goes, my secret is I'm always angry. I think that now that he's on this planet, he kind of has to stay Hulk just to fucking survive. Saying if he if he was to ever go back to Bruce Banner, fucking monsters or aliens would just destroy him. So he stays the Hulk. Since he gets to stay the Hulk, I think he kind of learns to control the rage. Like, because every time we've seen him as Hulk, he's only been Hulk for a couple of minutes. He breaks a bunch of shit, then he goes back to being Banner. In this world, he kind of has to stay Hulk. So I think he's sort of learned to not be about rage all the time. And with that, he's adapted to where now he can talk, where he's not just saying puny human and Hulk smash. He's talking in fucking full articulate sentences. And so, so there's a lot of...
Puny God.
Puny God, yeah. So I think, with that, I think that now that he's on that planet, he's forced to stay the Hulk all the time, and it sort of helps civilize him. Not civilize him, but not be about breaking shit all the time. And of course, when the time comes, he is pretty much a gladiator, so he kind of has to fight. So he can channel that rage and go, okay, later on I'm going to tear shit up, but I can kind of be calm but still be the Hulk right now. But it looks funny.
It doesn't look like what's his name is going to be in it that much.
Loki?
No, their father there.
Odin?
Yeah.
No, because right now it's still Loki still has him locked up, and spoiler alert, Loki still has him locked up, and he's pretending to be Odin. So
yeah, but I thought he sent him to the streets of New York City, or is that later on? Because if you remember at the end of Doctor Strange, he was Thor was looking for his father.
Well, yeah.
So,
no. Strange found Thor.
Right, but Thor's I
don't think Thor was banished. Well, shit, I'm trying to remember the end of Thor 2.
Because no, it's not Thor 2. I know the end of Thor 2 is where you see Loki. Like
Loki's pretending to be Odin.
Right.
So I don't think Thor's figured it out yet. I think Thor still thinks Odin is Odin.
Well, that'll probably get shown in this movie because obviously,
Yeah, and then they'll be like, okay. Well, where's Dad? Well, Dad's back in the city that just got destroyed by by Hela or whatever her name is. So I don't know because
we'll see what happens
because you don't see Anthony Hopkins in any of the trailer.
No.
So it could be that father was killed because you had him trapped in a cage.
I don't think he'll get killed. I think that maybe just he's not going to be like it'll be like the last Thor. he's not going to be in it as much, but you'll still see him a little bit.
Yeah.
Trying to think what else there is. Well, there was that. It didn't happen in New York. It didn't happen at San Diego Comic-Con, but it was the trailer for Infinity War. I saw that the other day.
Yeah, they had. It was at D23.
Yeah.
The Disney Comic-Con, basically. It's not Disney Comic-Con, but the Disney convention that they have every year. And somehow leaked footage came out. And it's funny because I was watching it earlier upstairs, and Kelsey could see my laptop, and she's like, "Is that someone's head?" Like, yeah, it's someone's head because it was illegally recorded. Not illegally recorded.
Yeah, well, see, what happened was
because you know they do, my coworker, the guy I used to work with went to D23 last year or the year before that, and you go into a room and they make you put your cell phone in a like a sealable package, like you rip the tab and then you close it. Now the whole thing is the whole point is. Yeah, bring 2 cell phones. One that you're going to put in the bag to shut them up, and one that you're really going to record. So, obviously this was a deal with someone had snuck in some other recording device. Could have been another phone. I mean, phones are dirt cheap nowadays. But yeah.
Well, I was going to talk about that trailer real quick. They had
spoiler alert.
So,
Infinity War.
Thor's like floating through space, and the Guardians of the Galaxy hit him with their ship.
Yeah. So obviously this is after Thor Ragnarok.
Right, and then there's also a scene where actually Spider-Man actually has the suit that you see at the end of
Spider-Man Homecoming.
So apparently, Tony Stark's like, no, you're gonna have this suit because we're not gonna let you die.
Well, because now he needs the suit to be in outer space. Like the other suit was for swinging through fucking the streets of fucking Queens and Manhattan. So now he needs a suit to fucking actually withstand space.
And then I think the biggest part about it is Captain America is probably going to be who they call it Nomad.
Yeah, when he's Captain America without the shield or the.
But it looks like he still has his uniform, but like
they just painted it black.
Yeah, something like that. So I guess like we'll see that, and then eventually maybe he'll become Captain America again or somebody. Basically, because I know that Christopher Evans is like him and what's his name there. Tony Stark. God, I can't think. Robert Downey Jr. Yeah. I couldn't think. I had like a brain fart there.
RDJ.
Yeah. So, they're going to try to. They're probably not going to be in after.
Well, yeah, I think the plan is after Infinity War 2 or whatever Avengers 4 turns out to be. None of the original Avengers are going to be in the movies anymore. Everyone's going to either die or they're going to have a storyline written where they kind of go off into the fucking distance. So.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I kind of think that you're going to see like,
or there's going to be no more Captain America movies. There's going to be no more Thor movies, no more Iron Man movies. It'll probably be like it was in Homecoming, where they'll probably have cameos.
Well, I kind of hope they do the whole before like Robert Downey Jr. like just completely is done with it. I really hope they do like a Thor not a Thor, an Iron Man, Hulk, Spider-Man movie, because I think that would be great. But
yeah, that would be hoping Sony plays along.
Well, Sony's already playing along, so
yeah. But I think what they're gonna do is, they could always, as if they want to follow it in the books, they can keep Captain America, just make Red Falcon. Falcon is the new. I keep calling him Red Falcon because that's his name in the comics. They now in the movies they just call him Falcon. But they could have Falcon. Falcon becomes Captain America, so they can kind of have a Falcon Captain America movie where you have Chris Evans.
Does he become Captain America?
He becomes the new Captain America. So that's the whole thing is you can have Chris Evans in that movie for like a brief bit and then let Falcon have his own set of movies. You know what I'm saying? And let's be real here. Marvel is trying to diversify, the movies that they're making, so you can have a black lead and have Falcon have his own movies where maybe the first one he's Falcon Captain America, and then he kind of gives up Captain America, and then we have Falcon have his own storyline, and then we could have I think even the girl from the Thor movie. In Thor Ragnarok, there's this black chick who has kind of like paint on her face. I believe that they call Valkyrie, and Valkyrie is supposed to be the female Thor, for the lack of a better term. It's not what she's supposed to be, but she's a female that has all of Thor's capabilities. So you can give her a movie and have her make a Valkyrie movie. And once again, they're trying to diversify. So instead of taking traditionally white characters and making them black, which I guess with Valkyrie they are doing here, but traditionally white character making black. They can have something that caters to a different audience. Obviously they have big plans for Black Panther. Black Panther's in Infinity War. I guess there's a big fucking civil war going on in Wakanda. By the time we get to Infinity War, there's a civil war in Wakanda, but not the civil war from Iron Man, from Captain America 3.
It's so confusing.
And that's the whole thing. If we go from Civil War to Infinity War, too many wars. Let me see what.
But I do think that I think that we're not going to totally just lose everybody. Mm-hmm. Oh God, Darrell's here.
Oh boy. But he commented.
I know that shitty logo anywhere.
And so,
what the fuck did he say?
So once again, it would be the he commented on the photo. It said, but once again, if you had Falcon as Captain America, then you can kind of continue the Captain America movies with a black lead. If they wanted to do Valkyrie, they could do Valkyrie once again with a black lead. They already had what's his face, Idris Elba play a Norse god or whatever. So I guess they can get away.
What do you
with,
say?
That's one ugly fucking piece of shit. All right. So once again, I think after that fourth Avengers movie, all the traditional Avengers that we know right now, Thor, Captain America, Hulk, and Iron Man, are all going to go away, and there'll probably be different versions or other characters. We'll continue to have an Ant-Man. We'll continue to have a Doctor Strange. We may have a Vision movie. We may have, a Black Panther. I mean, we're definitely have Black Panther movies. So, I think Marvel's going to try to go, then we'll have a Captain Marvel movie, which they announced.
Yeah.
And this is going to be taking place in the 80s, pre-Shield. Or not pre-Shield, excuse me. With a younger Shield, with a younger Nick Fury, where I think in that movie we're going to learn how he lost his eye. So they did announce that. I didn't have it in my notes, but I did pop in my head. But then again, the question is going to be, where the fuck has Captain Marvel been all this time since Iron Man 1? Okay, so we spoke about Thor Ragnarok. We spoke about the Infinity War trailer.
Justice League.
The Justice League trailer. Nothing gigantically new about it. There was really, I'm going to say this more like comedy. It seemed a little bit more funny.
I'm going to say this to you. I think that John Whedon put that together.
Joss Whedon?
Yeah.
Joss Whedon. Joss.
Yes.
So, yeah, Joss Whedon, now that he's in control, I mean, he got the movie with 75% done, but I think he's adding more, he's doing more comedy. The trailer seemed a lot more lighthearted. There's a part where, they all disappear, leaving Commissioner Gordon on the roof besides the Flash. That was kind of cute, and then he's like, I kind of like where, Batman and Wonder Woman are kind of like the mom and dad. Cyborg and the Flash are kind of like the kids.
By the way, I saw something today, speaking of Batman, which we should say, too, that Ben Affleck finally confirmed that he will be doing several Batman movies. So
there was that rumor coming out of Comic-Con, and the fucking people were pissing me off. Oh, Ben Affleck wants to leave Batman. No, he's not. He doesn't want to. Now, don't get me wrong. Anything can switch any day because Warner Brothers can just totally push him over the edge, and he says, fuck this shit, and then they probably sue him for his contract. But they were under with no real criteria to base it on. There were a bunch of clickbait fucking articles. Ben Affleck is leaving Batman. And I love that he says, no, I'm not fucking going anywhere. And once again, yes, Warner Brothers can make some stupid decisions and he can say, you know what, peace out, fuck this shit. But he's not going to. He's, and okay, yeah, they got Matt Reeves doing the movie and Ben Affleck should have wrote and directed the Batman movie. But, I think he wants to give it a chance. He wants to give us the good Batman movies that we deserve.
Well, I heard a rumor today that part of this whole thing, what they're leading into, is that they're going to do, now they're finally going to do a Batman Beyond movie, is what was passed around. So I don't know if that's, I'm sure it's got some kind of clickbait to it, but, we'll have to see.
Maybe somewhere down the line. I mean, if DC would be smart and do like what Marvel's doing and kind of have planned for the future, then they can have a Batman Beyond movie. I believe that one of the things also that come out of Comic-Con is when they do the Flash movie, it's going to be the Flashpoint paradox.
Flashpoint, yeah.
So with the Flashpoint, I'm so used to calling it the Flashpoint paradox from the actual comics, but the Flashpoint. So with that means we may see Jeffrey Dean Morgan, who played Thomas Wayne in Batman v Superman, he may be in the movie as the alternate world Batman, where instead of Martha and Thomas getting killed, Bruce Wayne gets killed, and then, turns the father, Thomas Wayne, into a fucking, Batman, and then turns the mother into like a weird twisted version of the Joker.
Jesus.
Yeah. Didn't you see the movie or whatever? When he's fighting like that yo-yo chick, that's Bruce Wayne's mom. She's like a female Joker, but she's sort of like a Harley Quinn, but with yo-yos. Even though I think the movie kind of, did a little too much with it, but yeah, that's so. In that movie, in that timeline, when the Flash changes the timeline, when Batman's parents got killed, the parents don't get killed. Bruce Wayne gets killed, and then the parents turn. So we'll have. I mean, if they do that, then we'll have a Jeffrey Dean Morgan, for people who play from Negan from The Walking Dead.
But what about Owlman?
playing a Batman.
Yeah.
And I know the woman that played the mother is kind of famous also, but I can't remember her name right now. So when they do the Flash movie, it's going to be the Flashpoint Paradox. What else? So we got the Justice League. I like that like I said, Cyborg and Flash are kind of like the kids. Aquaman's sort of like the cool uncle. Yeah. And then now they're saying that right now they're filming scenes with Henry Cavill in the movie.
They gotta digitally take out.
They have to digitally remove his mustache because he's filming Mission Impossible 6 right now,
and he's under contract to have that.
And he has to have the mustache. So, I mean, they can do it. I mean, the special effects are so good, but it's just gonna be funny knowing that he had a mustache during those scenes, and they're gonna have to like superimpose his lips.
Well, these are during the reshoots of it, so
yeah.
But
yeah, but it's so. I don't know. It's gonna be funny. I mean, Justice League. I'm hoping it doesn't turn into a big fucking clusterfuck. It looks okay. I hope it. It feels to me it looks like Batman v Superman. And I want it to be better than that. I want it to be better than Batman v Superman. But then again, I think even the trailer had like the jokes and. And Aquaman, like, oh, you're just like a bat. Okay, I could dig it. I like that. I mean, we'll have the parademons. Yeah, okay, we're gonna have Steppenwolf in the movie, and Steppenwolf looks just like the bad guy from Wonder Woman. It looks like Ares, and both of them kind of, big hulking monsters that. Just they're there just to be bad, which kind of reminds me of Doomsday from Batman v Superman. They're all kind of finding the same template of big, scary, muscle bound monster at the end that they have to fight. It doesn't seem much really different than Ares or Doomsday.
I really like that that they're not going with Doomsday first. They're going with his uncle or his brother first?
No, I think you mean Apocalypse, not Apocalypse. Darkseid.
Darkseid, yeah, it's not Darkseid.
It's
his uncle.
Steppenwolf.
Yeah, so that's his.
Yeah, but because once you have Darkseid, I mean, Darkseid's like the ultimate. Like, Darkseid is going to be to the DC universe what Thanos is to the Marvel universe, where like he's the end all be all bad guy that because Darkseid can shoot lasers out of his eyes and fucking lasers will follow you like around the world and shit like that. They'll bend and shit. Which is going to be an interesting effect when they finally do it. Hopefully they don't make it look cheesy. But I'm saying is they got this Steppenwolf character and a sort of like, but I'm just all these bad guys between Doomsday, Ares from Wonder Woman, and Steppenwolf from Justice League. They all kind of look like the big scary monster. There's no real development to the characters. I'm the bad guy and you have to stop me. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but All right, what else we got? John Cena has been announced to be the lead role in the upcoming Transformers spin-off Bumblebee movie. Which, I mean, John Cena doesn't look too far off from Mark Wahlberg, so it's not like it's going to be a big surprise.
Yeah, there you go.
Apparently, this is going to be like a weird prequel movie where it's Bumblebee in the 80s.
Yeah.
And like, what the fuck is that about? Like, who cares about
Bumblebee in the 80s? They were talking about, in the video that I saw about it, they're going to try to make as many spin-offs as they can. They may try to make this into like a trilogy or something, and I'm sitting there going, I don't know.
Yeah, and they got the girl from... remake of 3:10 to Yuma. I forgot her name. Steinfeld?
I will say this. What if they do decide to do like a 3 trilogy out of the Bumblebee thing, even if it's just 1 movie or it's 3, at the end of it, the car has to end up at that dealership.
Oh yeah, which was owned by what's his face? The guy, but he's dead now.
Mark Wahlberg?
No, the comedian from Kings of Comedy.
Him, yeah.
Oh my God, why am I drawing Bernie Mac?
Bernie Mac, yes.
So Bernie, unless it's going to be, they'll have some other comedian try to be like the Bernie Mac character. But yeah, I mean, but that's the whole thing is like, I hate prequel shit because it's like, obviously everything that he's going to do, he's obviously going to end up, and I guess they could play with the idea where they can make him the traditional Bug instead of a Camaro. But then again, I don't know if they're going to do that because, all these movies all tend to have like a license with like GM, so that's why he was a Camaro instead of a Beetle.
I think if they're going to do it, they'll do that, and then eventually he'll turn into the Camaro.
Well, that's the whole thing is that he can. Bumblebee doesn't have to be. I mean, when he's in his robot form, that he's in his robot form, and then when he's in when he's car mode, he could be the Beetle. He doesn't have to be a sleek-looking sports car. He could be a shitty-looking VW Bug. But so, I mean, it's going to be a prequel. It's got the girl from 3:10 to Yuma and John Cena. I guess, shit, I paid money to go see fucking The Last Night, so, was there any Star Wars news? They had leaked photos, press photos or whatever, of Snoke, of Kylo Ren, of Rey. There's a bunch of these cool looking, like, Imperial Guard, like these guys in all red with all this funky like armor on. They don't look like the Imperial Guard, but that's what they reminded me of.
Speaking of Star Wars, there's a theory out there from Episode 7 that when it came to that scene where Han Solo and his son Kylo Ren were right there, instead of Kylo wasn't really the one that stabbed Han Solo, it was Han Solo actually stabbed himself, and that he did that so that way he could save a shred of, like, he could spare his son from getting killed, but then also whatever. See, that doesn't make any sense because the next scene he's fighting what's her name, so.
Well, that's the whole thing is that, but the theory I think I saw was that, like, he knows that Snoke will kill him if he doesn't do this. So he's like, I'll make it look like my son killed me so my son wouldn't get killed by the even bigger bad guy. But they showed Snoke, and I guess spoiler alert or whatever, I mean, it's, he looks like a human. He looks like a human just with a fucked up face. Like, when we saw the hologram, in the promotional photos, it's supposed to be his real face. And actually, he looks like the old guy from Saw. Just with fucking half his face, like, chopped in. My hope and theory is that it's still Darth Plagueis, but, everyone's saying that with these new movies being like a soft reboot, they're probably going to find some other angle and it's going to be he's just some new character. Like, he's not a person from anywhere in the past, so, it is what it is, I just want it to be Plague. I want it to be Plagueis.
I really hope they don't kill off Luke Skywalker. I don't think they should.
No, I don't think they're going to do that. If so, I mean, if he does die, it'll be at the end of 9, where he does the ultimate sacrifice, so everyone else can live, kind of a deal. Yeah. And so, yeah. So I mean, I'm surprised there's no like giant Star Wars movie. Like I said, they have those leaked photos, but
there'll be more as we get closer to December. But yeah.
And then so I got like 3 more little things real quick. All right, okay. George Romero passed away. I gotta say, I'm not a big fan of George Romero. I wasn't a big fan of zombie movies. His first movie, he stole from a bunch of Italian directors. Like, there were, and it's funny, George Romero, I think he's of Italian descent, but he stole kind of like the idea of zombies from Italian. Like, I think there's like an Italian movie called Zombie, way before he ever did Night of the Living Dead. And then Night of the Living Dead wasn't even supposed to be, like, zombies. The concept of zombies it was supposed to be just people that were just fucked up. They weren't dead and came back to life, or maybe, I forgot exactly what the concept was, because I never really watched Night of the Living Dead, or I've seen it, but I didn't really pay attention to it. Right. But, and I know that might offend some people who listen to this podcast, but I don't think George Romero was this great fucking director. And I think when he made Night of the Living Dead, he kind of stumbled onto it. Like, he wanted it to be a movie about something else, and then people took it as something else, and then he's like, okay, well, if that's what you guys think it is, okay, then that's what it is. People back from the dead, and I think so. I'm not a, and then he tried to cash it. Okay, yeah, there's the original Dawn of the Dead, and then he tried to turn that into social satire where these people were zombies, and then what do zombies do? The first thing they did on their instincts, they go to the mall, because that's what Americans do. We go shopping. So like they started congregating around the mall because when they were alive and normal humans, they all went to the mall like fucking zombies anyway. And then I remember I went to the theaters to see like Land of the Dead, you know, and then he was way past his prime and was sort of just cashing in on the franchise. So, you know, and not to shit on his, you know, he obviously has a legacy and people love him, but I think he stumbled into his career and he had no intention of it being what it was supposed to be, but he got lucky and he made a career out of it. Martin Landau passed away. Most people remember him from, what's that movie with Johnny Depp and directed by Tim Burton, where he was playing the director from like Plan 9 from Outer Space. Why am I drawing a blank?
Which one?
Directed by Tim Burton and Johnny Depp, where they're playing. It was in black and white, where he's the director, where they made Plan 9 from Outer Space. But Martin Landau, who's in that. I liked Martin Landau in the movie Ready to Rumble, the WCW movie. Yeah. Sal Bandini, want to wrestle? That, you know, and of course Martin Landau has a billion other good roles, but I remember him best from Ready to Rumble. Now, the last thing I wanted to talk about was Steven Spielberg had released a teaser trailer for Ready Player One, which is a movie coming out next year. But see, now I read the book. Mm-hmm. And see, the whole gist of this movie is about, it's the world in the future, and there's wars, and there's diseases, and all this shit, and the world is so fucked up that people decide to fucking go into this virtual world called Oasis, and because it's better to keep all these people distracted from the real problems of the world, so they all go into this Oasis. So when you're in the Oasis, you know, there's people who earn money, and then when you earn money, you can buy custom characters, so there's people who are all types of, you know, characters. But see, in the book, now what happens is in the book, the guy who creates it, like, so the guy who creates it is sort of like a Mark Zuckerberg. He dies and he goes, look, I left clues to people, you know, if the person figures out all these clues, these 3 clues, you can find what they call the egg, and the egg will have the key that will open up, you know, this box. And if you could open up this box, then, you know, you'll get my fortune. And the guy's like, literally like a 300 billionaire or something like that. Like, he has like $300 billion. So whoever gets that gets the company and everything like that. So these people make it like their life's fucking journey to fucking find that money. And then there's a big corporation that kind of steps in and starts hiring people, and they're like an army. You know what I'm saying? Like, they all agree that if they find, you know, whoever finds it, it doesn't go to them, it goes to the company. Right. But all those people, they get paid like a job. So, you know, the main character, and that's what pisses me off, is that in the trailer, the main character, the guy's supposed to be fat, pimple-faced, and with a big nose. And the character kind of has pimples, the character kind of has a big nose, but he's not fat, and that really fucking makes me angry. Because, like, even in a world of fantasy, where he's escaping into a fantasy, they're not going to make him fat. I'm fucking really upset about that. Now, the whole gist of the movie was that the guy who created the world was really big into the 80s. So everything that was from the 80s would make sense. So like the A-Team van, which you see in the trailer, I get it. Christine, which I think Christine might have been late 70s. I get that. You know, the Back to the Future DeLorean, I get that. But when you watch the trailer, there's like, you see like Harley Quinn, and it's the Harley Quinn from like Arkham Knight or Arkham.
Yeah, you see some World of Warcraft stuff too.
Well, I don't know if that's officially World of Warcraft. I think they needed to make a generic, and that's the whole thing. In the commercial, a big chunk of the commercial is this race. There is no race in the book. You know, so that kind of pissed me off. You see Mad Max's one of I guess someone pointed out. I watched the video. You see Mad Max's car, but once again, Mad Max is, well, I guess technically early 80s. But like the Iron Giant wasn't in the 80s. That was early 90s. What was that?
Ninja Turtle.
You see Ninja Turtles?
Right next to Iron Giant is something
that's like a Ninja Turtle. Oh, I thought that was like Deadshot.
No, that's Ninja Turtle.
That's a Ninja Turtle. Okay.
How did that look like Deadshot?
Well, then again, technically, well, not Deadshot. Deathstroke. Excuse me. I thought it was Deathstroke.
It was a Ninja Turtle.
Oh, okay. So you got, but then again, technically, Ninja Turtles was 89, so that makes sense. But like in the book, is like they mention like Kevin Smith and Quentin Tarantino, and I'm like, but the book is supposed to be about the 80s. The guy was obsessed with the 80s, but I guess the guy was obsessed with nerd culture in general. But it was supposed to be mostly 80s pop culture, which I guess technically
just let the movie come out and see.
Yeah, but but in the commercial you see Freddy Krueger, you see Duke Nukem. You see the ostriches from the original like Joust 80s video game. So, I mean, it's going to be interesting. But then the funny thing is that in the movie, not that there's any big giant references to Steven Spielberg, but Steven Spielberg, there's going to be no Steven Spielberg references in the movie. And I'm like, asshole, like you're directing the fucking movie. You could have put E.T. in there. I mean, the funny thing is the trailer, the emblem for Amblin is Elliot and E.T. on the bike. They should have had that kind of bleed into the commercial, into the trailer where, it's flying over, overhead or whatever, like someone's pretending to be Elliot. But it is what it is. So, once again, I'm just mostly offended because the character's supposed to be
You're
fat.
always offended.
I'm offended. It's supposed to be a fat character. Alright, so I think we should wrap it up. That's what she said. All right, please visit twostrangersonePodcast.net where you can find all things show related. First and foremost, you can find links to our iTunes page. So if you have an iPhone, an iPad, or iPod, and who the hell has an iPod anymore? But if you do, you can subscribe to us on our iTunes page. If you don't have an iPhone, an iPad, or iPod, and you have an Android device, you can download us on the Stitcher app. That's STITCHER, the Stitcher app for Android devices. You put on the option Listen Later and available offline, so when you're in a Wi-Fi spot, you can download all the podcasts that you listen to and then not kill your battery or kill your data plan, which is what I do. I download all my episodes when I come to Paul's house. And of course... Bastard. Every podcast worth listening to, Chris Hardwick's The Nerdist, Kevin Smith's Smodcast, This American Life, Adam Carolla, and of course Paul's other baby, the Toonami Faithful podcasts, are all available on the Stitcher app. That's STITCHER. It's the app that I use to listen to all my podcasts. And of course our hosting site, the people who damn, we pay for them to have our shit up
right now.
Yeah, and SoundCloud, and that's one thing we kind of, like, that crisis came and went in between episodes where SoundCloud almost went down permanently. And I get us all
Chance
these
the Rapper
Chance the Raptor and all these other kind of like small Chance the Raptor. They all kind of stepped up and got the site to stay up. Which blows my mind because I mean, from what they're charging people, I don't see why it shouldn't have any issues. They're probably mismanaging their money if they're going to have money problems because it's just server space, and if there's people like us, okay, yeah, and we got a good deal right now for what we do and what we could be doing, but, it's still like, they're not breaking the bank, but they're low enough where Joe Blow can get a SoundCloud account without breaking his fucking bank. So, I don't know. I think they're mismanaging money if they're losing money. If they want to monetize the podcast, feel free, and I'll be more than happy to take a nice chunk of change if they want to. They wanted to put other commercials other than the ones we put in here, or put a commercial before the podcast and after the podcast. You can do that also. Just give us a chunk of change. I'll be more than happy to monetize it. So once again, you can download us on the SoundCloud app for Android and iPhone devices. You can visit our Facebook page on facebook.com/twostrangersonepodcast. Oh, big shout out to Tommy Bort. He was on another podcast called The Test Pattern. And when he was on that podcast, he gave us a shout out. So if you want to check out this podcast called The Test Pattern, I've only listened to that one episode that Tommy was on, but it was all about King Ghidorah, the three-headed dragon that fights Godzilla, and the 2 or 3 movies that he was in. And it was actually a really good episode. They kind of go really deep into like Godzilla lore and kaiju movies and stuff like that. Even though the people who do the podcast themselves are sort of novices at it, it was a good episode. So definitely check them out. Of course, check out our other friends, Cinema Psyops. But if you're this deep into the podcast, you probably heard the ad in the middle of the episode. Once again, if you want to like and support our show, we want your money. We need your money. But if you can't send us a dime, you could at least share and like us on Facebook. That's facebook.com/twostrangersonepodcast. You're probably there right now. And if not, share and like this episode, share and like our page. Get your friends to share and like the page. Get the word out, because once again, it doesn't cost you a penny to just share something. If you want to write us, like Oscar did earlier in the episode, you can write us at twostrangersonepodcast@gmail.com, all spelled out. Once again, that's twostrangersonepodcast@gmail.com. And let me see what else. We are on Twitter, technically, @StrangerPodcast, but we don't really follow up on that. The episodes that aren't available on SoundCloud or on iTunes, you can find on YouTube. Just search for Two Strangers, One Podcast. And I can't tell you to click on the ads before the video or during the video or after the video. I can't tell you to do that. But if you happen to do that, it will help support the show. And what I am doing is I am in the process of taking my second book, Odd I See, and making videos. I already made audio files of the chapters of the computer reading my book. And then I kind of made like music, if that makes any sense. I made like music, like little like digital music for each file. So I had to make like 47 songs. And then I'm making videos, which is pretty much, if you're ever listen to any of our podcasts on YouTube, it's pretty much, just a simple couple of graphics on the screen. And you'll be able to listen. If you have enough time to sit around and listen to a podcast, you can sit around and listen to my audiobook, Odd I See, A Tale from the Road, which was my second book, which has been sitting around, and I'm finally doing something with it, so I'll make it available for free for everyone online to listen to, if you could tolerate it. No. But of course I'm going to monetize those videos and let them...
Exactly.
That's how it goes. You got to listen to one... You can't just listen to one video. You have to go and watch them all 47 chapters. And each chapter is about 10 minutes, so altogether it's a little over 5 hours altogether for my second book. I can't think of anything else. I acquiesce the floor to you, sir.
All right, you can find me on Twitter @Paul Pascrillo. You can ask me questions, ask.fm/Paul Pascrillo. You can Instagram me, instagram.com/Paul Pascrillo. And you can email me, paulpascrillo@ToonamiFaithful.com. And yes, I was telling Darrell that I was going to stab him for his comment, so... We should come up with a Two Strangers One Podcast shirt, by the way.
Yeah, we got time to do that, and then we'll just order them off of, like...
Teespring.
But Teespring doesn't have my size.
What do you mean?
I don't know. The last time I searched Teespring, what was the other one? I did Zazzle. Zazzle.com. I've gotten shirts off of Zazzle. And as long as you're not using copywritten images, but then again, we'll talk about it, I've gotten 5X shirts, decent looking ones on Zazzle. All right, so is that it? Or
that's it.
All right. We certainly hope you guys enjoyed listening and had as much fun as we did recording. Thank you for listening to Two Strangers, One Podcast. I'm Chris.
I'm Paul.
Don't be a stranger.
Peace. We're out.
Bye. You should be fapping.
Shush, I didn't appreciate that.
But in all seriousness, the suicide hotline number is 1-800-273-TALK. Once again, that's 1-800-273-8255.
All right, here we go, man. Go ahead. You want to read
Double Jackpot.
What is it?
It is a self-published book by Christopher Cologne.
Chris Cologne? Smells good to me.
But
look at her. That broke that fucking cold little exterior. He's like, hee.
But it is spelled Colon.
Him punny.
But Double Jackpot is a book about a comic book artist, Eric, who is in a loveless relationship with a materialistic
I feel you, Eric.
Lynette.
Oh, fucking. Are you sure I didn't write this? Sounds hauntingly familiar.
He starts cheating on his girlfriend with a more creatively supportive woman, Nadia.
Well, I gotta meet her. Where's the Nadia?
There's your summer girlfriend.
Summer Nadia is Nadia.
Nadia?
Yeah, I think Nadia spelled with an A.
All right.
Both Lynette and Nadia play the double jackpot, the largest payout in lotto history, much like the recent Powerball. Both girls play his birth date as the winning numbers. Eric is now stuck between two of the country's richest women. Who will he choose? It's not that simple. This is a clever fucking idea,
yeah,
man.
Is.
Look at her, fucking. She's impressed.
I am.
She got some summer reading. Christopher Cologne smells real lovely with an original idea. This is. I've never heard this before.
I haven't either. This is a self-published book, much in the indie spirit as Kev's Clerks.
Oh, you don't even need to name check me. It's just a good idea. You could stand on your own, man. You don't even have to be like, hey, remember Clerks? This is nothing like that. This is way more original than Clerks. This is a good idea, man. Why didn't I think of this?
I need something to read. This book is part of the Comic Books, Heavy Metal, Video Games Trilogy Book 2. Odd I See, A Tale from the Road, coming soon.
Right on, man. It's part of a trilogy. This is the first part.
Way to write, man.
He's seeking a literary agent. Motherfuckers, anybody out there? There ain't no literary agents listening to this show, I assure you, sure. Sure. I assure you, sure. But somebody know a literary agent? Hook a motherfucker up! Chris Cologne come up with an original idea. I should tell Raskin, that's a good fucking idea, to be honest with you. That's a fucking rom-com right there. Megan, get Raskin on the phone. Isn't it possible to get Raskin on the phone? No?
Yeah.
I want to run it past him, man. I want to, and if it happens, I get a taste, Chris Cologne. I get a whiff, if you will.
The book could also be ordered on www.lulu.com.
That's lulu.com.
I understand that. I just want to spell it out.
Normally one says it, that spells it. Still, lulu.com. What is that? Do you know what it is?
I don't know. All right. The book could also be ordered on www.lulu.com. Search for Double Jackpot Christopher Cologne. A paperback version of the book is $15 and a PDF file is only $5.
$5 is
Yeah.
insanely inexpensive. 15's not even that bad for a paperback version.
No.
This is $1 million idea right here. Like a movie about a dude who fucking is stuck between two chicks, both of who play his birthday and win the lottery. Come on! I can see that trailer. Chris Cologne is on to something. Nobody else can smell it but me.
I'll read it.
Thank you. I'm going to make that smelly joke.
I know. You're trying to get me to laugh again.
It worked once. Double Jackpot is a self-published book by Chris Cologne, man. It's the first book in his comic books, heavy metal, video games trilogy. Book 2, Odd I See, A Tale from the Road, should be coming out soon. Get all the information at Chris Cologne, like a motherfucker.
I will
his
totally
book,
read this.
Double Jackpot. I'm serious. I'm going to recommend that to fucking Raskin. How is that not a movie? You know what I'm saying? This could be a sexy movie. You could do an R-rated version. There could be nudie in it, and you could show them fucking both chicks. Maybe a little penetration. Maybe a butthole shot. No butthole, no care.
I would like to formally apologize to Christopher Cologne right now.
No, sex sells. Chris Cologne will appreciate that. He's like, thanks for throwing a few buttholes in there, man.
Don't forget to check out twostrangersonepodcast.net, your one-stop resource for everything show-related. You can find links to subscribe to us on iTunes or on Stitcher. You could also find links to buy my book, Double Jackpot, on twostrangersonepodcast.net.
Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You're cool. And fuck you, I'm out.